Alright, well. So, for anybody that's lingering, the one person I see that's logged in.
It's probably yourself.
It might be. Me and Brian are going to play a learning game of Age of Sigmar. I haven't played in a while, so we're going to see how this goes. And I'm playing an army I've never played before. So
It's for beginners.
But I have played against it, so we'll see. So I'm going to play Squigs, and he's going to play his Fire Slayers. So,
Freshly painted. So basically we'll be playing Relocation Orb just to have some fun because I have a slow-moving army. Larry has a faster-moving army if he rolls well enough. So he'll probably have the advantage. As long as he doesn't interact with my dwarves, he will be okay. The objective is in the middle. It'll start in the middle. As we go through the battle, we'll roll a dice and we'll move either left or right accordingly. It's what you and I played a year and a half ago.
Ah, okay.
They've modified where it moves, though, a little bit.
Okay.
So it's a little more straightforward. But it is a fun one to play just for a fun, humorous scenario. Basically, if you take the first half of the turn and you capture the objective, it's 1 point. If you take the second half of the turn and you capture the objective, it's worth 3 points. Mm. So there is an advantageous reason to go second in the turn. Do we want to roll a dice and see who gets first deployment? I rolled a 2. You rolled a 4. So you will officially get to decide it. Well, you get to deploy first. What it comes down to in Age of Sigmar is whoever gets done deploying first goes first, or gets to choose if they go first or not. Before we start, though, you can actually set your Loon Shrine up. Your terrain piece is contingent to be set up at the beginning of battle.
Okay.
And so it cannot be set up, I believe it has to be set up outside of 12 inches of my terrain, my deployment zone, which is fine. So you could actually set, but I think, let me check to make sure it has to be set up within 12 inches of your board edge, I believe. It's one of the first terrain pieces. More than 12 inches from an enemy territory and more than 1 inch from other terrain pieces. So actually you could set it up here, and it serves as a nice big line of sight blocker for you.
Okay.
So basically what the Loon Shrine will do for your army is it will give them morale, bravery, they're immune, bravery immunity.
And isn't this the thing that moves, doesn't it? Like
that is not. That is good. That'll be the bad moon, which I have a little marker we're going to use for that. That'll be the moon endless spell that we won't use.
Okay.
But that's the Loon Shrine itself.
So
actually, you could set it anywhere along here as long as it's outside of an inch.
And doesn't have to be outside of 12 inches of an.
It has to be outside of an inch of another piece of terrain.
An inch.
Yep.
So, like you said, though, if I put it like over
if you were to put
here,
it like right here, it would put out a 12-inch bubble of immunity. Let
me pick up some of my cards here real quick.
So that'll help out the smaller things. Like your Squigs are going to be horrible for bravery. Everything else you're running in smaller.
So
you could set it right there, and it would serve as
that seems like
a nice little bubble.
Right.
And then my terrain piece goes down after we deploy, but before we start. Okay. Because mine is contingent on a model.
All right.
So you can officially, the way that your army is set up, I basically have given you a battalion that Squig Riders battalion, and that will consist of this Mangler Squig. Not this model, but and then this is a unit of 10 Boingrot Bounders and a unit of 5 Boingrot Bounders. Okay. What the battalion will allow you to do is when you get ready to move, you will roll 2d6 dice, 2d6 dice, 3d6 dice, and for these 3 units, you will be able to determine if you want to re-roll those dice.
Oh, okay.
Everything else you will have to keep whatever you roll, so you'll be moving anywhere between, your movement for Squigs is usually random, very, very much so, which is the fun part of the Squigs. And you can decide if you want to deploy the battalion all at once or individually. So my army consists of, it's Lord of the Lodge, so it'll be the Auric Rune Father on the Magmadroth. It'll be the Battle Master, which is this guy, Battlesmith. and it'll be the Rune Smiter, which is the other one. He's down here somewhere. There he is. That's the Rune Smiter. I'm also including, and then it'll be 20 of my Hearthguard Berserkers. That'll be one battalion. I also have another unit of 10 Berserkers, another unit of 10 Berserkers, a unit of 10 Volkite Berserkers, and then the Rune Master. So I will have about 6 or so drops in total.
Okay.
And you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to be well over that at this point.
Okay.
So I will have the ability to either I will probably have the ability to decide who goes first.
All right, so deploying aggressively may not be a good thing, but again, because of my random movement, deploying aggressively may be...
It may be the best thing, depending on if I give you the movement or not.
Okay, so if I were to want to deploy that battalion first...
And being that you're not going to win the drops, there's no reason to deploy it all together.
Right.
You could put a unit of Squigs behind the Loon Shrine.
Right. Just to
I don't have any. So this is a unit of Squigs, and then this one Squig herder.
Okay.
And that's something that they've changed. And so you could start by here, and because basically you're going to want to wait.
Let's see where you're going.
Being that you're not going to get the movement, but you want to be as opportunistic as possible, just in case, because that spell can move down this way, so you will want to have something along all.
Okay, so what axis does it move on? Does it move like
it will move?
Cross?
It'll move kitty corner.
Oh, it moves diagonally.
Depending on what we roll, it will move to right about here, or right about here, and then we can roll again, and it will either move back to the center or it'll move out that direction.
So yeah, I actually like that placement then, because if it does move over there, I'm already on that side to go for it.
Correct.
So
I'm going to go ahead and set up
Squig and Squig herd.
No, yeah, the Squig herd.
That sounds like a weird Sigmar curse. Squig and Squig herds. I still say Squigs ought to act like Pokemon. Just run around. Squig, 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 Squig.
They might. You never know.
I bet they do.
So I'm going to set down one of my units of Hearthguard Berserkers with the broadaxes.
I bet you there's a Squig herd running around that's called like, Smash Ketchup after Ash Ketchum. Okay.
So you could continue playing the slow pace game. So I would actually think you could grab the Gaba. I don't have anything that can truly shoot per se, unless I get an invocation out on the field.
So line of sight's not necessarily something I have to worry about.
He actually ignores line of sight, so you could set him right behind your.
Well, that's right, because he
spits baby Squig, so you could actually set him back here.
And he ignores line of
sight. And he would be able to shoot out to about here.
Okay, so if you were to come up and try to take the objective in that area,
he'll be able to hit almost everything. Or you could set him back behind that, or even in that.
What was his range?
36 inches. He's a Forge World, so he's actually not going to be on a card, so we will pull up Battle Scribe here.
Tape measure.
I can go to the Azirat, but it's just faster to go this way. So his range is, shooting is 30 inches.
Now, we are allowed to pre-measure.
Oh yeah,
Sigmar,
in Sigmar it's not like bolt action.
So if I were in the woods, I could reach your woods, and I could reach all that terrain piece over there.
And knowing all the fighting is going to be out in here normally.
So you know what? If he fit, you
didn't break it. I just plop him in there because I know it's going to be a.
I felt so bad there for a second.
What we'll do is we'll go like that, and that should give you enough room.
There.
As long as he's not. You could actually snap. Yes, it has to stay off of the tree bases, and that would allow him to see most of the battlefield.
Okay, so there.
That's number 2.
My Squig artillery.
So I'm going to go ahead. We are going to set down the Auric Rune Father.
Dragon.
He's going to go right about here. So this is a piece of my battalion that I could set down as the other battalion, but I'm not going to, because I will still have you beat on drops.
All right. So now I'm wondering if I place another little squiggly unit or
could.
if I place a big squiggly unit.
If you were to do a smaller squiggly unit, I would probably start it back in that corner just to have number one line of sight that way. And they're also keeping deep strike at bay.
Yeah, so I think this other... I knocked a die marker off and...
Oh, I was like, where the heck did that come from? No, it's the one in the corner.
So these guys are going to kind of hide over here in this little ruin.
No reason not to. And that way they can also come up. Turn one, they can move to the end of this one and be right out here to capture the objective if it moves that way.
Go. And there's that die.
So that's your third unit. I'm going to go ahead and set down the Volkite. Oh, there went a break.
Oh, freshly painted.
That's its good part about it is they were super glued, so it did break right off at the feet. So we're fine.
No harm, no foul. I'm sure we've got super glue around here somewhere.
Yep, no worries.
In fact, unless that's yours, I think Greg left his super glue from the last game.
We might borrow it in a little bit. I don't know. So my Volkites are going to go here. All right, so that is my third unit down. So back to you.
All right, so now I'm kind of starting to see where your army's going. You got some berserkers over there?
Yep, they're going to be for that side of the claiming of the board. This will be for this side, and then the rest of it's kind of going to go in the middle and then go wherever it needs to.
I'm kind of thinking I might place, because if I remember right, that big old mangler squig thingy here was mean.
The Colossal Squig or the Mangler Squig?
Well, the
Colossal Squig, it has its potential. I think the Mangler probably has more potential, but the Colossal will certainly munch through. If you were to put down the Colossal Squig on that side to go against like the Volkites.
Mangler and Colossal. So let's go ahead and put the Colossal Squig, which I don't want to break. We're going to kind of bring him over here with the moon. And you don't have any shooty, so we're going to put him up close.
And he'll be moving 4d6 dice as well. So.
Right. And he's going to go munch some berserkers, hopefully.
You should be able to make it there. If not, then it was an unfavorable dice roll. So I'm going to put down another unit. This is the unit that is actually with the battalion.
Okay. So they get some special bonuses.
They're basically, the battalion bonus for them is, as long as they are within 12 inches of the leader wholly within, they will be able to be selected to attack twice during the phase.
Ooh.
I won't be able to attack first,
but
they can attack, which is a lot of attacks, and then I can spend a command point and they can attack again. Or not a command point, their command ability for the battalion. And they'll be able to attack again.
Okay, so let's do this guy over here.
Okay, so the regular Mangler. We're going to go ahead and sit down. I'm going to go ahead and my Rune Smiter will be deep struck. So he'll be up in the air, or he'll be underground actually.
Underground.
He's mining.
Tunnelers.
He's a tunneler, and that is his ability is actually called magmic tunneling. So he's underground. I will be able, during my next selection, I'll be able to put this unit of 10 Hearthguard Berserkers with pole axes with him, much like your Tyranids.
Okay, so they can kind of follow in through the magma tunnel.
That's correct.
Okay.
And they can come up at any point in time during the game, through the first three or four turns, but...
So I'm feeling less comfortable about that side than I am this side. So let's put this other little group of squigs over there.
Okay.
And then that's
Squig herder to go with them.
So they're going to kind of go over here in the intermediate area with the squig herder.
Okay. So my next turn, I'm going to go ahead and put into the tunnel the Hearthguard Berserkers with pole axes.
Okay, and I think these 10...
And they will have a movement of 2d6.
I think they're going to be perfect to follow up and challenge your main line here.
Okay.
Or at least contest an objective if it were to move this direction.
That is the intent. I'm going to put my Rune Master.
Actually, we're gonna knock stuff over. Is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that
On the board, so then it goes back to you. I'm just going to make sure on my my terrain piece what the rules of it are.
Isn't the mushroom head a character?
That is a fungoid cave shaman, so he is a character for you.
Okay. So
We've got him equipped with a spell called Itchy Nuisance, which if we get to the point that you want to cast it, we can look it up. His big claim to fame is at the beginning of every one of your turns, you will be able to roll a dice, and on a 4-up, you will get an extra command point.
Okay. So he's going to be like a backline support kind of guy.
Correct. Typically, that's how most people play him.
And he's a wizard that can cast that spell. So, you know what? I think he's going to stick over here with the Squigs.
It's as good a place as any. All right, so yeah.
Now, do I need to worry about having some kind of leadership ability? I know you said like my moon would give them some kind of leadership. Do I need to try to focus on
the good thing is
over
the
here?
Squigs have the bad bravery of 3, so they're you don't really do a lot with them unless you get them into one combat.
Right.
They're more for just let me be a speed bump.
Okay.
For your big guys.
Okay.
The Boingrot Bounders have a bravery, I think, of 5 or 6, so it's not as bad because you have to lose 2 or 3 before you really start to worry, and they are 2 wounds apiece.
But since you're not shooting at me, I'll only start really having to deal with that once I crash into you, and then their job is pretty much done once I've done that.
Correct.
Anyway. Correct.
So your big boys. The way I built my Squig army that you're using is the big boys are there for the mainstay of it. And let's go ahead and we'll put the Battlesmith right here for right now. So that is officially me being all deployed.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and deploy your last 3 units or 4 units.
Okay, so I don't want my big bad to be over there with just the Squigs all alone, so we're going to put this other spot of Bounders over there just in case.
Okay.
And they're just going to run up with him because they look like they're fast and they want to go into combat. And then I think
that leader, he has a command ability that if you were to spend a command point, any Squig unit that is within range of you, I want to say wholly within 12 inches of you at the time, it gets an extra 3 inches to their movement.
Okay.
So you might think about keeping him over here.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. If he gets extra movement.
Initially, so you could get 2d6 that you can re-roll and then plus 3 inches.
What's this Gabo do?
That one's just a fungoid. I'm sorry, that one's the Madcap Shaman.
Okay.
So the spell he has is Hand of Gork, so he could then basically much like the jump in 40k. He can grab a unit, throw him anywhere across the field. It's a spell is cast on like a 7 or an 8. We'll look it up, but he could then teleport some unit that's wholly within 18 inches of him anywhere on the battlefield.
You know what? He looks like a good guy to come over here.
And depending on where the thing goes,
you could goes, I can move forces around.
Correct. And that Mangler Squig.
This Mangler Squig, I think, may want to come down here with the
That's your good. That is your general. So he has some extra special traits. He has the trait is the artifact he carries is the Clammy Cowl, which is -1 to hit, melee and missile attacks.
Okay, cool.
So he's good. So we'll have to try to remember that. That's one of those I always forget.
Right.
But he also has the command trait Fight Another Day. So if you run him into a combat and you were able to fight first, or you go ahead and select him, he'll do a lot of damage, and then you can then retreat him out and roll 2 dice and move him out of combat. That way he can't be acted against.
Okay, so he would be really good against your berserkers that can fight twice.
As long as you can get in there as long as you can get the attack going, that is exactly what it would be for.
So you know what? Let's layer on the pain over here, and
he'll move 3d6.
Let's go ahead and try him. Ooh, 3d6.
So I mean, he can go anywhere between 3 inches and 18 inches. So.
All right. Well, let's try him here.
Okay.
And then that's
a spell, and then that's going to be the moon marker that you will set up here in just a second.
Okay. So now I am deployed, correct?
And then you are fully deployed, and I will set up my Magmic Battle Forge, my pizza oven. Has to go wholly within 6 inches of my rune smiter or rune master.
The smiter of runes. He is runes.
He is the rune master, and then outside of an inch of a piece of terrain. What that does is it gives me a +1 to my rolls for my prayers.
Okay.
However, the magmic invocations are not deemed prayers, so I won't get a +1 to them, but
Okay.
he will get some additional benefits.
Okay.
All right.
And then, so for my benefit, I'm a 40k person. Do I start with command points?
You do not. If you have a battalion, which we did have a battalion for you,
Okay.
you will get 1 command point to start the match with.
Okay.
So we will both start with 1 command point. So I will go to 1 as well as you, and then at the start of every one of your turns, you will get an extra command point.
Okay.
That you can use however to activate whatever command abilities you want. And then you will also have a chance to roll the dice because of the fungoid cave shaman. And on a 4+, you will get an extra command point on top of that. So it's not horrible. It's just, and by at least having a battalion, it lets you have a command point to start with, just in case something goes really badly the first turn, which I am actually going to give you the turn because I want to see how this goes.
Okay.
And we're just having fun. And if I can get you just that much closer to me, that gives me a chance to do what I need to do.
Right.
So we'll start.
All right.
Enjoy. We'll have some fun. We'll walk through some rules.
All right. I'm going to remove this line of
Yep.
dice.
Same here. Same here.
Well, we don't get anything mixed up here.
I'm going to walk over here. We're going to steal a little bit of super glue here.
All right. Now I'm going to look over some of my movement abilities here. See.
So basically, the Squig herd is about the only thing on your battlefield that moves a set rate of 5 inches. Everything else is, I mean, the Gaba as well, but everything else is completely random.
Okay.
And so, okay, so before we start, go ahead and decide on a corner to start your moon. And what the moon will do for you is any quadrant that it is in, it won't do anything for you in turn 1, but that at the start of every turn hereafter, you'll roll a dice and it will move from opposite towards the opposite corner from wherever you started it at.
Okay.
And whatever quadrant it illuminates, you will get something special. If it makes it to the middle of the board, it illuminates the whole board. So it can do more stuff. But basically what it would do for you is any quadrant that it illuminates, the squigs in that quadrant will be able to charge and still, or advance during their movement phase and still charge.
Okay. So I feel like I've got this side of the board handled. So if I want to get the early benefits, I put it over there.
And then throughout the game, it'll go this way.
And I'm kind of weighing heavily at that point that the objective doesn't move that way.
Yeah, I mean, right now it is a 100% random potential where that little objective marker is going to go.
So I think we are going to put it over here. So it goes in the corner?
It'll go into the corner, and that's why I use a big enough marker. And we know that, and it'll either move, so during the next turn, you'll roll a dice on a 1, it doesn't move anywhere. On a 2 through 5, it will move 1 spot. On a 6, it will move 2 spots. So it'll go to here to illuminate that quarter of the board. On a 6, it would move to the middle, illuminate the whole board.
Okay.
And then it would move to somewhere over here and then off the board. So,
okay.
So we'll know that right now you won't get any benefit from it for turn 1, but.
Okay. All right. So, well, if we're going to live dangerously here, my leader, the Loon Boss
on Mangler Squig.
Let's see how far he can move. So he moves 3d6.
Correct.
So.
And that'll actually be up top, isn't? Oh no, yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so it's down here since he's on his.
And the Mangler Squigs have a funny wound characteristic. If you look at the card, as they become more damaged, he gets worse until he gets enough damage to pass the halfway point, and then he starts getting pissed again, and he gets back to full stats. So there's a happy medium that I either need to take him to, to keep him at his worst, or I need to kill him outright.
Kill him all the way.
There's no happy, hey, I got him down to 2 wounds left. No, oh, crap. He's just as good as he was at the start.
All right, so if he gets a really good roll, this will determine what I need to do. So we're going to go ahead and try to move him.
That is not too bad. That's better than average.
So
the 13. He doesn't not get any additional movement on that because... So now it's a question, if you were to move there, you could potentially get a 10-inch charge.
Right.
If you were to move there. Or you could move them out over here a little bit, depending on...
And then see how the
wave comes back. But, I mean, it's your decision. But that's the beauty of it. So if you want to be uber aggressive, you can try.
Now, is there like a special, like if he dies, does my army lose something for...
No, by taking him as a general, what that unlocked is it unlocked taking Squig Hoppers and Squig Herd and stuff as battle line units. Once you're in the battle, you're not going to lose. You're going to lose a very strong piece of the model, but...
Right. Now, let's go ahead and...
You're going to go try for a 10-inch charge?
Try for the long charge.
All right, makes sense.
All right, so then my Squig Herd deal, my Squig Herd.
So that Squig Herd can move 5 inches typically. 5 inches. I mean, being that they're not going to get into combat, you could advance them just to do it with 1 dice roll.
Okay.
Being that they're not going to be in a charge spot, but I mean, really, all you're wanting to do is kind of get them up here.
So I think they really are just going to move up to here.
Okay. Because all they're there is just in case the objective moves that direction, they can quickly respond.
Then my
Boingrot Bounders, they will roll 2d6.
They move 2d6.
This is one of those units that you can re-roll because they are part of your battalion.
Okay.
So it is a 5, that is less than average.
And I re-roll the whole thing.
You would re-roll the whole thing. So
yeah, let's go ahead and re-roll the whole thing.
Because you should be averaging about there's a 10-inch. So yep, that's perfect. You could, if you really wanted to, you could have spent the command point. Oh, go ahead and roll a dice for the 4-up command point.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to move 10. You're up to 3 command points right now.
So okay, so I started with 1. I got 1 at the beginning of the turn,
and then your Fungoid Cave Shaman got you another 1. So what you could do is you could take that 10. You could spend a command point
and advance
to trigger his ability. That gives an extra 3 inches of movement, so you could go 13 inches if you wanted to, or you could be happy just banking the...
You know what? I think I'm just going to take the 10.
And that's perfectly acceptable.
And we're just going to move up to here.
Okay. And so the Boingrot Bounders' claim to fame is they like to be able to charge into units, because every unit that you charge into, you'll roll a dice, and on a 4+ you do a mortal wound. So even if you only get right now the rules are written as even if you only get 1 Boingrot Bounder into that unit, you will still roll as many dice as you have in the Boingrot Bounder unit. So it is funny.
Okay, and then what was he again?
He is the leader. He is the loon boss on Cave Squig.
So on Giant Cave.
Yep,
Squig.
that's the one.
Okay,
Yep,
so
yep.
he also moves 2d6.
Yep.
So.
And he does not get to re-roll, so he's only going to go 5 inches.
5, but he'll kind of do a little keep-up action here. Okay, so let's go to my first.
That's your Mangler, so he's going to be 3d6 again.
So yeah, we're back into the 3d6 territory.
So best case scenario is that that should get you up to here.
13.
I would so basically all you have to be is within 6 inches of this middle point. So I would keep him as far back on that one unless you're going to try to make the charge.
No, he's not going to be able to make the
charge. So just get him to within 6. That way you will get credit for claiming the objective.
So that's within 6 there.
Okay.
So
your Gobba's just going to sit right where he's at.
Yeah, because he's going to be doing some shoot later.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with the biggin.
So he's gonna do 4. You don't actually have a card because he's Forge World.
Oh, okay.
But he is 4d6.
So this will be exciting.
Or not, because it's not bad. 12, 14 inches. So sorry, 16 inches.
16.
Yep.
So
this is one of those. This is actually the weaker of all the units on my board. So
yeah.
That's probably not a bad choice to charge.
So
rumble through.
And
we'll just expand that ever so slightly. There we go. Actually, didn't even have to expand it.
So he's going to get to there.
So he'll have a chance for a 10-inch charge, 9-inch charge.
And then my Boingart Bounders.
2d6. This is the other half, so that is a 9. You could re-roll that, but that's better than average.
No.
So.
And they're just gonna do like that to try to kind of cut off the deal, and then I think these guys are just gonna do a little follow up here. So they were just squig herds, so they're just 5, and I don't think we're gonna do anything.
Just remember, I do have a deep strike capability thing, so you could kind of come this direction. That cuts this off from being an option.
So what we're going to do is like that.
Okay.
And then, actually, we're going to do like that.
Okay.
To keep you from flanking him. And
Makes
then,
sense.
You know what? The Madcap is going to go over there.
And we actually jumped straight in because we're used to the 40K stuff. Go ahead and do your hero phase stuff.
Oh, okay.
In Age of Sigmar, yeah, yep.
Right.
So it's been a while since you've played. So, and
okay.
So go ahead. So basically, what you would want to do is, you could try to try to do Mystic Shield with the Madcap Shaman first.
Okay, so what is Mystic Shield?
Mystic Shield would be it's going to cast on a 6, maybe a 5. Let me pull it up. Mystic Shield will get you you'll be able to re-roll save rolls of 1.
But I cast it on a unit, so
he would have been in range where he's at. So I would cast it on your Mangler Squig, your loon boss.
So it goes off 2d6.
It's going to go off on a 6. So it goes off, and I don't have any way of denying it. So we're going to get a Mystic Shield token. And then your other shaman probably would not have been in range of doing anything.
Right.
Where he was at. So Mystic Shield. There it is. So you can put that by your loon boss with Mangler on Mangler.
Okay, and then the last guy I want to move up would be him, and I think, and he was the
Fyre. Yeah, he is actually the Madcap Shaman, so he's going to go very top shit, 5 inches.
So he's got a 5-inch move as well, and so I think he's just going to move up like this.
Okay. All right, so that takes us to the hero phase is done.
And then I've moved.
You have now moved. You do go to shooting now, so you can have your Gaba shoot, and let me get you the stats for that.
Oh, all right, because he's not I don't have a card for Gaba.
So he is going to get to the right one, Squig Gaba. He is going to have 6 shots, spit squig, 30-inch range. So you can determine where you want to shoot and what you want to shoot at a 30-inch range. So you can hit basically anything over here that you would like.
All right, so, and that's all one big squad in front of your
This
dragon,
is a big squad of 20.
All right, let's shoot at them.
Okay, you're going to be hitting on 4s on 6 dice.
Hitting on 4s. I got 3.
Okay, and then these are going to be wounding on 3s. Oh, that's the Squig Gaba for you. Okay, well, we tried. You at least, he spat out stuff. It'd be nice, it'd be cool if they had like something like the Doom Flyers used to have where, oh, you hit, you didn't wound, so it's going to hit something else, but they don't have that.
They should be like spore mines for Tyranids, where I just leave little squigs all over the table, running around in random directions. All right.
So that's the shooting phase for you.
And then
the Colossal Squig does have a shooting attack. However, it is within 8 inches. So we will measure here just to make sure. It is a puff spores, and it is an 8-inch.
And I don't think.
Here, we'll use one of these. So you are officially within 8 inches.
Okay.
Yep, you're going to have an 8-inch charge when you make it. But yeah, so he will be able to shoot. This is less than stellar. It's 1 dice, 5s and 5s.
Okay, so 5.
Okay,
No.
that ends that. So But at least we know he only needs to make an 8-inch charge.
Okay.
So
That's good to know.
so the shooting phase is done. Now you would go to the charge phase.
Okay, so I've only got 2 charges that are likely. So I've got an 8-inch charge there, and I think we said a 10-inch charge over there.
And we will grab this other one here. And we know, nope, it's going to have to be a 9-inch charge to make it within half an inch.
Okay, and this is just like 40K, 2d6, and I make the charge.
Yep.
And is there any kind of, I mean, if you had range, is there any kind of Overwatch?
No, Overwatch does not exist for 99% of the units in Age of Sigmar. There are a handful of special units that do, you can trigger, but no, it's not. And the beautiful part about this is, let's say you just want, you know that you had this one, but there might have been a unit that was within 11 inches, and you roll boxcars and roll 12. You don't actually declare who you're charging until you just declare I'm charging. And that's why Overwatch truly doesn't exist.
Okay.
And that's why the ability that triggers for the Overwatch-ish kind of ability is if you charge a unit that has that ability, then this ability goes off. So I mean it's. But
I don't have to charge them until after I roll the dice. I
correct.
Can choose to
and yeah, you can. Let's say you make it, and it's like, well, that would actually put me in a bad spot actually by making the charge.
And I still cannot charge over you or through you or with most
Let's
units.
say these guys have the fly keyword.
Oh, okay.
So because they spin around and they fly and they jump around.
Okay.
These units do not. So if let's say you only had to have a 4 or 5-inch charge and you rolled a 12, you could jump over them and come at them from the back.
Okay. And now there is a consolidate move too. So now
there's a pile in move.
Okay.
After, let's say you make it, you pile in. In this case, you wouldn't want to because you want to limit the amount of people that I can get back to you.
Right.
But let's say you kill all of these, you don't get to consolidate towards the nearest unit.
But if I
like
had
40K.
some kind of fight twice ability like you have, maybe piling into more stuff.
And so that's the way that this would work. Is let's say you get to here, I will be able to pile in 3 inches, and I don't kill you. I can then use my ability, my battalion ability, and pile in another 3 inches to get more attacks.
So making this charge all alone may end up backfiring on me quite bad if I don't.
You're going after it as long as you don't go.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go here.
So if I roll really good and get around the corner.
If you can roll a 10 and be over here, you're perfect.
All right. Let's see if we can get a good charge here. I need a 9.
There's an 11.
Oh, that's an 11. So my 2 inches is going to take me right to around the corner there.
So I would come out over here.
So that is what I'm going to do here.
Yep, and I would go just stay back as far as you can. You're within half an inch. You do have to end the charge within half an inch of the unit you're charging.
Okay.
However, I would keep it as far back from, because that means I'm only going to be able to get 4 of these guys into you.
Right.
You're going to retreat.
Right.
After you get done munching on them.
Okay, so I'm feeling really in a good spot. So if it moves this way, my bouncers got it. And then if it moves that way, my other bouncers are kind of close.
And so now you're in a funny predicament. Because where Age of Sigmar differs from 40K is in 40K, every unit that you successfully charge, you attack first with.
Right.
In Age of Sigmar, it doesn't. You select a unit, I select a unit.
One of my guys has a chance of getting seriously hurt before I even go.
If these were Hearthguard Berserkers, I would worry about that.
Right.
They aren't. So I'm just pointing that out to.
Right. So that's a trick that you can do if you charge too much at once. You can find yourself in a bad deal.
In this case, you would fight over here first, do as much as you can, bounce him back out. Then if you make a charge here, you might not make it. We'll find out. But then I would then attack here, do whatever I can. Maybe hurt you a little bit. Maybe I don't expect them to kill you by any stretch of the imagination. And then you would then attack and do whatever you can left.
So I need
You need to have an 8-inch charge to make it within a half an inch.
So an 8-inch charge.
That's
an 8.
Dang it.
So that means that.
So he can move on up. Do you want him to? You want him to move this direction?
Yeah, do something like that. That way, a few less
possible bodies, just in case.
Okay, and then they're outside of a possible charge range.
Correct.
So,
because you do have to be within 12 inches.
And I think I want them there anyway.
Yeah, because this could go right over here.
They're going to want to be able to reinforce and get that.
Correct.
Even though I am 100% confident that I am in the right spot to capture this. And our big hero.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's exactly. I mean, the funny thing is it might not move.
So I feel confident about this. So like we just discussed, I think I want to fight here first.
All right, so but at the start of combat, you go ahead and read his ability, the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig.
So Loon Boss.
He has a command ability that you're going to want to, it's probably this card right here.
Loon Boss on Mangler.
So read his command ability, it'll be the far right.
Command abilities is Bite the Moon. You can use this command ability at the start of a combat phase. If you do so, pick one friendly model with this command ability in the combat phase. You can add 1 to wound rolls for friendly squig units while wholly within 18 inches of that model.
Advantageous for you to do. So I would recommend spending 1 of your 3 command points, and that would allow him to get all of his key abilities.
Because he is a model within 18
He is
inches
a model.
of himself.
He is a squig model within in range of himself.
Okay, so that seems like a really good idea. So he is going to spend a command ability, and he's going to add 1 to his wound rolls.
And then he also, because he made a charge, one of his other abilities is if you successfully make a charge, add 1 to your hit rolls for the balls and chains attacks. And that's the one that's going to hurt bad against me. It's going to be painful.
Now, he's also got, I don't know, this is probably not advantageous at the moment, but he's got the red cap mushroom, which I could reroll hit and wounds, but that's a once per battle.
I honestly have never truly worried about using it because whatever he doesn't kill, you're not going to suffer any consequences because you're going to bounce out of combat.
Right, maybe if I was going up against the big boss thing and I wanted to make sure it died.
Correct.
Okay, so...
I mean, you could go ahead and do it once per combat just to do it, and then we know it's out of the way. There's no harm in that.
Well, it's once per battle.
What you do have to...
So
the funny part about this, and we'll play it as if all of basically the command ability that you triggered, it affects squig attacks. The grots, this is where there's that gray territory. People say because it's the whole model, everything on the model gets that. And I've heard that it can be either way.
Right.
So in this case, it is that ability is only like, I think the reroll squig or sorry grot attacks, or does it say all?
But not for the model's mounted crew. So it actually only works on the squig, not the grot.
Okay, and I would actually go ahead and trigger it because if you can clear off a large portion of that, before bouncing out.
Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and eat a red cap mushroom. That seems like a good idea.
Okay, so basically your ball, and I usually attack with the little stuff first, and then save it for the coup de grace stuff, the big, the bites, and then the balls and chains at the end.
Okay, so and he's got Kersplat too, which on a successful adds +1 to hit rolls
for the balls and chains. Correct. That's for making the charge.
Okay. So he's got a moon cutter.
Yep.
So that gets 5 attacks.
All right. So the 5 attacks are going to be hitting on, I think, 4s.
So they hit on 3s.
3s and then wound on 4s.
And wound on 4s.
All right.
So hitting on 3s.
That's cool.
So 4 hits.
All right.
And wounding on 4s for nothing.
All right. That's a grot for you. Can't trust a grot to do anything.
And that wasn't +1 to wound, right?
No, that was not.
Because that wasn't a squig model.
Correct.
That was the moon cutter for the
Yep.
deal. But huge fang-filled gobs is...
Yep. So if you want to do that one next, that'll be...
That's 4 attacks.
Okay, 4.
Hitting on 4s. And that's 2 hits.
Okay, and then wounding on 3s, I believe.
Get out here where I'm not rolling behind terrain all the time. And then that is definitely hitting on or wounding on 3s.
Okay, so that's one wound. It's -1 rend, right?
It is.
So that takes my 5-up save to a 6-up save. I do not.
And it is D6 damage.
Okay. That's 5 damage.
5 damage.
Okay, so the Hearthguard Berserkers, as long as they are wholly within 12 inches of a leader, I get basically a feel no pain. That starts off as a 6-up, but because I'm wholly within 12 inches, I get a +2. So I will get. I
forgot to reroll hits and wounds. It's fine. We'll just stick with it.
Okay, we'll say we didn't trigger that ability for this one then. We'll do that next time. So I'll get 5, and every 4-up I ignore. In this case, I don't ignore any of them. Oh, I do ignore 1. So 2 of these guys pass away. I'm just going to leave them there for now. All right.
All right, and then balls and chains.
This was the bad one, so 7 attacks.
That is 7 attacks.
7 attacks hitting on 2s because you made the charge. Wounding on 2s because of your ability.
So I did roll a 1.
This is the one that you do want that reroll capability.
Yeah,
Then
we'll
go ahead and reroll those 2 1s because the 2s hit. So everything hits. There's 7 hits, and now you're wounding on 2s instead of 3s because of your command ability.
And re-rolling because of the mushrooms.
Okay. Yep. Rerolling 1s, right? Or is it all?
You may re-roll hit and wound rolls for this.
Well, in
model.
this case, it only matters because you want the 2 was a good roll.
Yeah.
So there you go. So all
So
7.
we're good.
All right. And those are -2, so I do not officially get any dice. So go ahead.
These are D3 damage each.
Correct.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wounds.
13 wounds. I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They are still within range of the battlesmith. So 13 4-ups. I got this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 passes, so 6 wounds make it through, so that is another 3 dead.
And I've got one last Grot's Bastion Sticks, which is going to be 4 attacks.
Yep, hitting on
4s, wounding on 4s. Nothing.
That's Grotz for you. Come on.
And yep, and we're not re-rolling those because it's Grotz. All right. And then he's got the...
So now you're going to because you're done with your combat phase, you're going to use his command trait of Fight Another Day, which is not on the card.
Okay.
However, that card, the Fight Another Day trait is you roll 2 dice. And as long as you roll a combination that amounts to 3 or more, because you have to make it outside of 3 inches. So you have to roll 2 dice and we'll see. So you roll 5, so you can retreat 5 inches.
Okay, and I will retreat.
You can go wherever direction you want. If you want to come this way just to get this way, to be there, or if you want to go back towards
let's retreat back to the other side of that shrine.
Okay, and he can fly, so he should be able to clear it.
So yeah, if he just goes to like there.
He's going to be right about like that.
And that looks good to me.
All right. So that was the attack of the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig.
So now you get to activate it.
I get to come over here and pile in 3 inches. So basically, I will be able to get 6 people in, including the leader. Just going to take them off the trays because we're just going to pile in and they're going to die anyways. All right, and then these guys are all going to be outside of range. What it comes down to is next turn in Age of Sigmar, when you can pile in around towards the closest unit. This was all 1 unit. So next turn, let's say I win the initiative.
So you just keep enveloping.
I could then keep enveloping if they live that long. I'm not going to put my weight on that.
Which is not super likely.
No, I'm not going to. I wouldn't bet on this. But it all depends. They could surprise me. So each one of these guys, if I could have charged, they would have done it. But they each get 2 attacks, so I will have 12 attacks against you.
Okay.
Pull one dice out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And they're going to be hitting you on 3s, wounding you on 4s. With no rerolls, so I'm going to pull the good ones out. That was cocked. 2, 3. Wounding on 3s, okay. So only 5 hits. I'm wounding you on 4s. So that is 2 wounds through at -1.
Okay.
The Mangler, the Colossal Squig has a 5-up save usually. Let me confirm that.
Let me give your phone.
5, and then so he will have a 6-up save on 2.
Okay, so I get a 6-up save. I
So
get
no
nothing.
saves. So that's going to knock him down to 14 wounds instead of 16.
Oh, and you've got handy dandy pink 12-sided or
10-sided dice. So it's for when you play with big Mangler Squigs, you kind of need them here. So he will be down to 14 wounds.
Okay. Barely a scratch.
Yeah, yeah, he's still actually still fully healthy. So what I'm going to do is I will give you my phone for this so you can run through. Oh, actually, I can read it off here. So it would go back to you, of course, and you're going to get 8 enormous jaw attacks, and right now you're still on the top tier, and you'll get 10 trampling feet attacks. So, and actually we'll go back and do this here. You did make a charge.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a dice. And on a 6, okay, I would have suffered a mortal wound.
Oh, okay.
That's for you making a charge.
Oh, okay.
So your 10 and your 8 enormous jaw attacks will be hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s. So
Not re-rolling 1s in this case. So
ones.
you got 6 through, and wounding on 3s.
And wounding on 3s. Ooh, that's 3.
So 3, and these are going to be hitting at -2. I do not think I actually get I get a +1, so I will get a 6 up. No, sorry, 4. Yeah, I will get a 6 up on 3. I do not save any of them. So these are all D3.
So I get 3d3.
3D3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this poor sap dies. This poor sap dies. This one. And we'll hit the guy underneath the building here. He's back over here.
Okay.
Because I don't want to lose my horn blower quite yet, just in case I can get something through. So, and then now you will get 10 trampling feet attacks. These aren't going to be as cool, but they're going to be hitting on 5s. But you should be able to get 2 or 3 more.
2.
Okay. And then wounding on 3s.
And I got 2.
Okay, so 2 at -1. That would take me to a 6 up, but I get a +1, so these are going to be back to a 5 up.
Is that a 5 or is it a 4? Nope, it's just got a really light spot in the middle of the 4, which is super deceiving.
Okay, so it's just 1. I failed
No,
both.
it was 2 because they
yep,
on
yep,
4s.
yep.
They hit on 5s.
Yep.
But
So I failed both of them. That is 2 wound. That is 1 wound apiece. So
Okay.
this poor sap underneath the building,
has expired.
and then this guy right here. So that is the end of that combat phase.
Okay.
I've already fought. Nothing to fight over here
Because I ran away.
because you
Like a good squig.
you
Bounced
used
out.
exactly what the grot ability says, is to be be a coward. So
Lives
it,
right in the middle.
it's
Tactical withdrawal.
It is extremely effective. So what I will see here is the Volkite Berserkers have a bravery of 7. I've lost 4, so I will have. I rolled a 1, so they are going to be fine.
Okay.
The rest of the unit
That is some heroic morale, as you might say. But well.
No, it's heroic morale. That's precisely what it was. And the Hearthguard Berserkers have a bravery of 8. They've lost 5, so that is going to be 1 more. So that's going to be this poor sap. So that's 6 dead there.
That's a good day's work. For
Yeah,
a
no,
squig.
that's 12 good wounds, and you didn't suffer anything back. That's where the Mangler Squig does its job.
Feeling pretty good about my first turn, I have to say. We'll see when your real warriors get into battle how we do here.
They might not make it. You never know. So what that does is that takes us to the end of the phase. You are within range, so you will get one victory point.
Okay, so I get 1 victory point. And I've got my round counter here, but we're going to use it as a victory point counter.
That works. That works. All right. So now it goes to my phase. That was a good first turn for you. I don't think I would complain too much about that.
That's exciting. I like the way the squigs move. It's super cool.
It's humorous. I will give them that.
I don't think it would be. It's not very reliable.
No.
But it is neat.
It's all good. It's all good.
Squigs fly across the board.
All right. So we are going to do a little bit of fun stuff here with the prayers.
So it's your hero.
It is
phase.
my hero phase.
This is where you do spells and prayers.
Spells and command abilities and stuff. So I will go up to 2 command points. I don't really have spells because I'm not cool like that. I'm a dwarf. but I have prayers.
You don't believe in magic.
I'm praying to Grimnir. Okay, so the rune. Actually, the rune smiter's still in the tunnel, so he won't do anything. We're going to go to the rune master.
Is this like 40k where you have to wait until the second turn to deep strike?
I can officially deep strike right now, but I still have to come outside of. I have to come up outside of 9 inches.
Okay.
Because I'm Vostarg, the Lodge, I will get a +1 to my charge rolls.
Okay.
But by having my rune smiter in the tunnels during the hero phase, I don't get the benefit of any of his prayers.
Okay, because he is not on the table.
Because he is not on the table. All right, so the rune master, he is going to try to cast Prayer of Ash. And it goes off on, I'm sorry, 1 dice. So, well, both of them would have been 3 or above. Let me roll 1 because it has to be a 4+. No, it would have been good because of the Battle Forge. I get a +1.
Okay.
So what that does is I'm going to give this unit over here that's getting their butt kicked by a Colossal Squig, I'm going to basically, Prayer of Ash adds 1 to their save rolls.
Okay.
So they would be up to a 3-up save if and when the time,
A little token for that?
Yeah, GW is pretty good about if you have a specific army, you'll have a token. All right, so, and then because like I said, you can cast all the spells that a spellcaster has, or a prayer, priest or whatever has. Let me go back in here to my Fire Slayer army, because I'm also going to try to cast one of the invocations. But I want to make sure I'm getting all of the Rune Master. Just wanted to make sure Prayer of Ash is all. So yep, and then he also has the Aether Quartz Brooch. So every time I spend a command point on a 5, I can roll a dice. On a 5+, I get it back.
Okay.
So that's just kind of like in 40k and all of that shenanigans.
Right, yeah, you can get all your...
Except on this one, they haven't limited it because it's not typically as gross by, hey, I'm going to recover it from you and you and you and you.
Right, in the game with more command points than you started with.
Yeah. All right, so that is his only prayer, but he's going to try a Magmic Invocation. And in this case, I think it would be funny to try. Let's go for the Molten Infernoth. Sounds cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's going to go off on a 3+. I don't get a bonus, but it was a 3. Okay. All right, so I have to wholly set up wholly within 12 inches of the fire, so that's this big boy. So yeah, he's going to basically just come plowing through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
He kind of looks like the Kool-Aid Man if he were evil and demony.
All right, so he's been set up, and then after this model has moved, so then he can immediately move 2d6. He's going to move 8 inches, so that's going to plow him.
So he's going to come around.
He's going to keep you trapped on the backside. After this model has moved, I rolled 12 dice for each, and this is one of those, if you would have been a little bit closer, I could have stopped, say right here.
And gotten both.
And actually, I would have gotten both of them, but because I was a little over eager, I moved him up here.
Okay.
And so forth, so that was my own fault. However, I will roll 12 dice, and for each 6, it's a mortal wound.
Okay.
6, 8, 10, and then the 12. So 6s, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 mortal wounds. So that's going to knock him down to from 14 down to 10.
Okay.
That was worth it. I'll take it.
Yeah, not bad.
More wounds than the stupid Volkites were able to do. All right. So then that is all of my prayers because, like I said, my Rune Smiter is officially still in the tunnels. And then at the end of the turn, I will have to roll the dice to see if he even stays on the field because he is a prayer and so forth.
So you have to sustain him.
So I have to sustain him, and then I think on that it's like a 3+. I have to roll or a 4+. I'll look it up here in a minute. All right, so that is all for my hero phase that I'm going to do. We'll go into the movement. And in this case, the cool part about my army is that it is built for speed. So I will be able to take a charge. If I charge in the first turn of my turn, I go 6 inches. I don't roll d6.
Oh.
I go 6 inches
Okay.
to start with. So, and in this case, the downside is they're still slow because they are, dwarves. So they would only have a 10-inch movement, but that would get me plenty far that way. I need to get these guys out of the way.
Okay, so you move 4 base plus your 6.
For the first turn only. And then as long as I'm within a range of a hero, I can then still charge as part of my battalion.
The famous dwarf Gimli said, dangerous over short distances.
Yeah, that's exactly precisely it. So he's actually we're going to come here, because if I can keep you from charging me,
right,
that keeps me alive a little bit longer, because I don't have to put up with your charging. And the battlesmith is actually going to stay somewhat central, because he's going to benefit these guys as well. So he's also going to charge, though. These guys, all right, and the Magnadroth I know can move a whole lot farther, but he is just going to
stay in his little bubble.
Stay here, because that will keep them all wholly within 12 inches of a hero, which gives them their survivability.
Okay.
They're okay. I don't think you've left me anywhere over here that I can truly drop in very well.
No, due to your advice, you could come all the way back here in the corner.
I could drop here and steal this objective from you, and I think I will actually do that. So the Rune Smiter is going to come up over here.
How rude.
How wooed. We're going to put that down, so it's going to have to... Because basically what this comes down to is, as long as I get more models within range, I steal it from you.
Okay. There's no objective secured or anything like that? It's just
No,
based
it is models. And that's why my silly Seraphon list is more effective than I anticipated.
Because you can just lay skinks out and take the objectives.
It's...
and monsters don't count for more or anything like that?
certain scenarios, heroes with artifacts will.
Okay.
But in this case, it's not. They took that away from this one. Actually, he'll stay up here that way. Yeah, I don't want to put him up on top, because I don't want to have him fall off and snap a leg again. But this is one of those instances where I'll have 2 or 4 dwarves in closer than you. So I will effectively steal it for 3 victory points this turn. But that's their intent. So they are all in. All the units are on the field, at least for the next turn. Because I'd already moved everything I needed to. He's going to stay there. So yeah, because that has to happen at the end of the movement phase.
Okay.
So again, I just kind of jumped the gun, but I had already moved everything that I was going to move, so it wasn't painful in that regard. All right, I do not have a shooting phase, because I don't have the model, the invocation that would shoot, so nothing there. So we are going to go on to charge phase.
All right.
Fun times. So we will charge the little group here first.
So, and you're going to probably charge into my...
I can go 10 inches, so regardless if I could actually...
Do you want to try to get in and do multiples? Or
in this case, I actually think it's probably going to be advantageous to come back here first. I don't know. Well, we'll go. We'll come out here, and that way you can only pile in so far. I might be able to keep you at bay. And then they're still within 12 inches to get his protection. All right, so then the unit of 20, they're going to go 9 inches 10 inches because of my ability, or because of my Vostarg. So that's actually going to keep you somewhat safe in regards to, and actually I do have a shooting attack. Let me go back, because I actually...
Can you breathe fire or something?
Yeah, that's why I forgot about it. And I will still move 10 inches that way here in a moment, because it's not truly it's roaring fire stream. Is do not use this, use the attack sequence for the attack made with the roaring fire stream. Instead, make a dice roll shown on the damage table, which I am perfectly fine, and I will roll a d6. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of models, also in this case, it won't matter, because I would have to attack something that has more than one model.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can roll, if I roll a 1. It does. No, I rolled an anti-1. Okay, so nothing there, because then it would have done some damage to you. So. This is one of those instances where I will pile in as soon as... And that's where this is, you know, it's advantageous to kind of use terrain to your advantage, because it keeps me from being able to pile in really well. And it also limits...
Yeah, so that little gate there is kind of keeping you from wrapping me up completely and getting a bunch
easily,
of people
because I won't be able to move that way to come. I would have to keep coming around that way. I'll be able to get 3 or 4 more in. It's just because they only have a 1-inch range. It's not like 40K where you get to attack an inch within an inch and you have a 2-inch range kind of stuff.
Right.
So, and the movement trees are good for everything up until this point in time.
Right.
All right. So that is everything. Yeah, let's go ahead and try. Oh, you're taking pictures of the painted model stuff. I see how you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make a 9-inch charge with these guys. They do 8. They do get a +1 to their charge because of Vostarg, so they do make it.
But you're not going to get a whole lot of guys in, so...
No, well, I mean, I would be able to pile in.
Right.
But yeah, this is, I'm just trying to do what I can.
Now, in Age of Sigmar, I'm able to shoot what I'm in close combat with, but I cannot shoot into close combat,
Nope,
correct?
you can shoot into close combat.
Okay, so he will still be able to shoot them
if I had somebody that was within range of you, you would have to shoot the unit you're in close combat with.
Okay.
And these guys are officially under the bridge. I'm just...
Okay.
And then he has to stay, because that's the... Oh, nope, this guy stays here, and this guy is the one that moves up. All right. So yeah, that's the nice thing about this is 40K is you can shoot into combat. So there's no stipulation there. So really now we have 3 units of fun, and they are still all within 12 inches, and they will still be within 12 inches. Good. All right.
And your big bad dragon's not going to charge, obviously, because...
He won't be able to make it all the way down and around.
Okay.
I mean, I could try, but I would roll 7, that's an 8, so no, he would not make it down and around. So in this case, and the beautiful part about this is even if I don't kill you, then you will be able to fly off. What you'll find here, I'm hoping, keep my fingers crossed, is the Berserkers are able to do what the Berserkers are meant to do and kill big monsters. I'm hoping. Because I will go ahead and start with that unit.
That makes sense. Let's see, he's got 12 wounds and he's got a 4-up save.
I'm just making sure, because I know they get some extra special stuff. Oh, I did get one thing. I'm going to go ahead and call out something that would not have been advantageous because I wasn't going to be sure if I would make it. We're going to do, basically I have a rune of fiery determination. What that would have done, I will add 1 to my bravery characteristic of friendly fire slayers, and I don't make it because I basically get an ability each turn.
Oh, okay.
But I only get it once per phase, so you have, or per game, so you have to pick and choose. And because I didn't declare it, I'm going to use the one that's the least advantageous for us at this point in time. And then I roll a dice, and on a 6, there's an enhanced ability that you get. But in this case, all I'm going to get is a +1 to bravery. So, and that I do that. That lasts until my next turn.
Okay.
All right. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and pile in 3 inches. And we know he can re-roll rolls a 1 if he's still alive. So 1. So that's going to allow 3 more of these guys to get into combat. Because they're on slightly over 1-inch bases. All right. This is where I'm just going to make sure the battlesmith doesn't do certain things here. In my hero phase, okay, well, you weren't within range, so it wouldn't matter. If this model is slain, which he's not, so nope, that's not going to matter. So he won't give him any bonuses. Auric Runefather doesn't give out any major bonuses except for the other stuff that'll happen in a little bit. Yep. All right, we will go on to the Hearthguard Berserkers.
All right.
The Pride and Glory. I know Vostarg, I thought, got something here. Oh, nope, that's one of these, I wish I would have had, declared it earlier because that's what I was thinking of. But nope. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 within range. So they will each get 2 attacks. The Carl is this guy, so he is not K, not C though. So 2 attacks. The Carl is not part of it, so I'll get 20 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. So I'm going to remove the bad dice because that's fewer.
Ooh.
Everything else is so 16 hits, wounding on 3s. I'm going to re-roll that one because it's added up to the same.
Okay. That
could be painful. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 at -1. So that's going to take you to a 5-up save, I believe.
So he's got a 4-up, so it takes me to a 5-up.
13 5-ups. And these are 2 damage apiece.
And I
saved 1. 2. So that's 11, so that's 22. Okay, so he is off the board.
He is dead. And now
they don't get any cool abilities.
I thought he had a thing. Was I reading somebody else's that fought when he died? I think I was reading somebody else's abilities.
Oh, that's the Colossal Squig.
Okay, yeah.
Colossal Squig blows up a little bit and stuff and drops out small.
Oh.
So, yep.
Big monster down.
I mean, I know you rolled 2 1s if you wanted to roll, but I still did 22 wounds, so that would still do enough wounds to kill you. So we'll put this back into your cutout. All right, well, that's that combat. So now you get to choose, do you want to fight here or fight over there?
Or fight there.
Or fight there. Phew, I can see these 2 being...
I think he's okay.
In theory, he should be.
Your lava monster was just the mortal wounds, right? He's not fighting. So I think...
He won't get to retreat, but he's going to have...
I think this is the more important one. You got 4 guys there. They're probably more... Yeah, I think I'm going to fight here first.
Okay.
Okay, so
this is going to be your Mangler Squig. I mean, he'll get all of the attacks except for the Loon Boss Kutta, and you won't be able to use that. So, I mean, you're not going to be hitting on 2s, wounding on 2 stuff with him.
Okay, so Fang-Filled Gob is 4 attacks.
Oh, you're going to start with the big boy again. I got you.
So, well, I just go down the list.
No, I know.
So,
hitting on threes,
hitting
wounding
on threes, wounding on 3s.
Or no, is it 3s or 4s?
It's 3s and 3s.
Okay, 3s and 3s? Okay. Now 2.
And I don't think we get anything to reroll.
No, not in this one.
And 3s.
Ooh,
So
2 at -1.
2 at -1.
They are still wholly within 12 inches, or they? Yeah, they are still wholly within. So these will be 6-ups. I make neither of them.
Those are D6.
Yep. So this is gonna hurt. 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is where I can save them on a 4-up because they're wholly within 12 inches. So 1 goes through, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 go through. So that is 3 dead pole axes.
All right, and then I get Fang-Filled Gob gets 3d6.
Fang-Filled, no, that should be...
No, Balls and Chains.
Balls and Chains
Sorry,
should
Balls
get
and
7
Chains.
attacks.
Oh, that's a move.
Yep.
Balls and Chains, 7 attacks.
Yep, 7 attacks. These will be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s instead of the 2s and 2s stuff because I killed the guy that could do that. And you didn't make a charge.
So
4, and then 3s again.
So
Still 3 at -2, so
Yeah,
I
these
will
are
not get a
-2.
save, so those will be D3.
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So this is 4-ups. So 1, 2, 3 more go through.
Not bad. And these are those were
That's what you were rolled there,
yeah.
and so one of these guys is wounded. All right.
And my Grot Brash and Sticks get 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounded on 4s.
Okay.
4 attacks, not 3. Hitting
1
on
goes
4s,
through because they're grots.
On 4s,
All
nothing.
right.
Grots do nothing.
Of course.
Squigs do all the work. All right.
All right. So
Well, that
now
was
that, now
okay.
that
You
that's
did pretty good
safe,
saving on the other side.
I am going to. I only need to get him down 1 or 2. How far can you pile in over here? You'll be able to get those 6 in.
I'll be able to get like.
You'll be able to get this guy over
them
here, and then
them, so
what you'll be
that's-
limited to is you won't have enough room to
so
go
I should
pile
be able
around.
to get a 6.
Probably
looks like.
5, maybe 6
5,
total.
5's guaranteed. 6 is.
And this one's almost gonna be dead anyways. I will go ahead and actually. If you didn't get a charge, they're not as deadly. Colossal Squig on this tier, what's he hitting on? Colossal Squig on...
4 attacks with the Bounders.
So at this level of damage, he's going to still, his enormous jaws are still going to be hitting on 3s. Yeah, I've got to try to get him down at least another notch. So he's suffered 6 wounds. I only have to do 2 more wounds to him. I'm going to actually go over here. So these guys they're going to pile in. I'm going to try to do a couple more wounds. So that's still going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 attacks.
All right, we need another good turn here, buddy. You got to hold the right flank.
And that's one of those, for the point cost, he's 300 points, and it's only like 260 or something for the Manglers.
Right.
And I'm like, the Manglers, unfortunately, are a little more
Even though he looks so
off.
cool.
Yeah, I play him because I painted him. I bought him, and I painted him, and he looks cool. He looks like a big pink Kool-Aid man bursting through the wall. All right, so there are Hearthguard Berserkers. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. I forgot, I guess they did have shooting, but I'm not going to worry about that. But... No, that's Hearthguard Berserkers, or Volkites, 3s and 4s. So, no. Okay, so these are all hits. And then 4s to wound. So 1, 2, only 3 wounds at -1, so that's going to be 3 6-ups. Because you're going to go from a 5 to a 6. And that helps me out though. So that takes you down to 7. So you've suffered enough wounds that it's going to take your hitting and stuff down to 4s instead of 2s. That's okay. And then you're going to get less trampling feet.
Right.
So now I would go back over here and do these guys, which you have a card for.
Okay, so these are my Boy Drop Bounders.
Correct.
And so I'm going to get to pile in 3.
You will pile in 3, which we can measure. So basically, go ahead and pull them out of the tray there, and what we'll do is
So if this guy moves like here, and then
he can move all the way over that direction.
He's going to move over like there.
Go ahead and pull that tray out, and what we'll do is...
And then he's going to do like that.
Go there, and then you're going to be able to get this guy. Will make it up.
And so he's going to do like
And then the rest of them are going to have to be stuck kind of out in the waiting. They're queuing up for attacking. And then we'll just get them out of the trays entirely there. There we go. I'm sorry. I'll just throw it over there.
Okay. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. Looks like.
Yeah, we could have moved this way because you should have been able to get 6 in. So we moved the corner guy too far. I would leave him back here and then just move. And then this guy over here in the corner would have moved right there. There we go. That's how it should have gone when we moved up. When we moved.
And I had it over here.
Yep.
Okay.
So you don't get anything cool, but you're going to get 2 rounds of attacks. One with the knights that are riding them, and then one's with the squigs.
So I get 12 attacks with poking lances.
That's correct. Because you didn't make the charge, though, you don't get anything super special. Because I think they go up you get like a +1 to hit if they would have made a charge.
So they get lances on the bounders, add +1 to attacks made with this unit's poking lances. When it's made a charge in this turn.
Yep.
And then it's got blink smash.
If they would have made a charge.
Okay.
Yep. So you don't get anything there, but they're still going to be hitting on 3s or 4s.
Hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s.
Okay.
So
no re-rolls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. That's not bad at all. Not for a 50-50 chance.
And wounding on 4s.
Yep.
So 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5.
At -1.
Yeah. So these are 5 at 1.
So that's going to take me to a 6-up save. I do save one of them, so 4 of them, and they're 1 damage apiece, correct?
Uh-huh.
All right, and then they are still wholly within 12 inches of my battlesmith. So I only take 1.
Wow.
And that's going to be on that guy. I'll take that. And now you'll get to do 12.
Actually, the range on the lances is 2 inches. So
okay,
would
so
those guys have been able
so
to
go ahead and roll. So roll 6 more attacks.
I mean,
Yep.
I just noticed that.
They are. So 4s and 4s. So 2 more. All right. So first off, 6 ups. I make 1. And then 4 up. I take another one. So this guy would have died.
Okay, and these are just...
these are the 1-inch
the 1-inch
bites.
ones. So, and they're on 4s and 3s.
Okay.
So 4s.
That's good for me. I'll take that from Squigs.
And 3s.
So dang, they all 3. And then they're still -1.
Rend 1 still.
So 6 up. I don't make any of them.
And these are just 1 damage.
All right, so 4 ups. I take 2, so 1 guy had another, so that's 2 of them out of that.
Bummer. I was kind of thinking I could clear that.
You almost did.
All right,
so I get to attack back with those 2, and then that one, and then you'll get to attack here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and, since they've already attacked, no reason not to go over here and just attack with these 2, since I'll pile in there in a minute. Yeah, so 2 Hearthguard Berserkers is going to be 4 attacks.
My poor Loon Boss died.
Oh, quit crying over spilled milk. Come on. No, just kidding. All right, so these are the battle axes. This next page. Broadaxe. So 4 attacks, because I don't think that is him. So it's going to be 5 attacks. That's the Carl. The only reason is the mohawk on top is slightly thicker. I really need to get another way to here. Let me paint it with like a red stripe or something.
Got better hair.
They have a little more full hair. They went to the barber shop earlier. So 5 attacks, and hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. So 3 of them hit. Then wounding on 3s. 3 of them wound at -1.
So that takes me to a 5 up.
Okay.
And 3s or 5s. So
only 1 makes it through, unless you go ahead and re-roll that one because it was somewhat cocked or whatever. It's fine.
No.
And that's 2 damage, so that will kill 1 of them.
That kills 1.
Because they are 2 damage
and
apiece.
Can I pull off anybody in the unit?
Yep.
So I can pull
yep.
like
You can
this
pull that guy
off?
since he's not serving a purpose at this point in time, and we'll just have to remember that Officially, that is 1, so your bravery is 5. So you would. That's why I leave them laid down until we get done with the bravery thing.
That's a good idea.
That's just so we know. All right, so now you would attack over here with the Mangler, or sorry, the Colossal.
Colossal.
And the Colossal, being that he has damaged, he's half death, so he's still going to get 8 attacks with his enormous jaws, but they're only going to be hitting on 4s instead of 2s.
All right, so hitting on 4s.
And that 6 actually will do, we forgot to do watch for this the first time, so the 6 is an unmodified attack, does D3, so roll that one. And go ahead and roll that one because that will go away for 1 wound. So that is going to be to kill the 1 wounded guy over here.
All right, and then the other 2 carry on?
And the other 2 will get, that ends that one.
Okay.
And then the other 2, yep, do not make a wound roll for that for that one. So so the other 2 now you're going to be hitting or wounding on 3s. Oh, okay. No rerolls, unfortunately. And then now you're going to be getting 6 trampling feet attacks.
And these are hitting on.
These are going to be hitting on 5s and then wounding on 3s. Ooh, 3 of them.
And
wounding on 3s.
6s don't do anything special.
No, not on those.
Oh, 3.
Dag-nabbit. These are -1, so that's going to put me at a. So that cancels out my shield, so I will have 3 5-ups. I do save 1, and those are 1 wound apiece.
Okay.
That's going to kill off this guy. So I've lost 2 over here. Prayer of Ash, and I forgot it, and that's that +1 to save, but I made horrible rolls over here. They would not have saved any. All right. Go back over here. They're going to pile in 3 inches. Unfortunately, I'm still going to only get 3 of them in, so it's not going to be as cool.
And that is a Mangler.
So yeah, this one you're not going to have to worry about so much on the rend. I do have the ability on this, so I'm going to have 6 attacks is all.
Now, does this draw you out of range of your dude to get some rerolls?
Probably. If for the defense purposes, probably so.
Oh, okay, because he's just adding to your save.
He only adds, well, it's a 6-up feel no pain. That becomes a 4-up feel no pain. So because I am wholly outside, because like I said, you were right up against the steps, I couldn't, I could go there and say I'm there, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I am officially outside of that one when it comes to that point. All right, so I get 6 attacks because my Carl didn't make it in. These are going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. If I roll a 6, it's 2 mortal wounds in addition to whatever damage I can roll too. So, hoping for 6s. I don't roll any. But those are 4 hits. And then these are 3s, so that's 3 wounds at no rend, so that's going to leave you at a 4-up.
I save 1.
Okay, so you do have to take 2 damage. So the pole axes are an attempt to try and get around stuff like Night Haunt, ethereal saves.
So he's got 10 left.
Yep. So. Okay. And yeah, you've already munched with him. So
yes, I am done attacking.
You are done, and that was actually my last attack. So they officially have a bravery of 7. I lost 2. That's a 5, so that is 7. So they're okay.
I've got a bravery of 5, and I lost 1.
So if you roll a 6, you're 5. Okay, so that is actually going to be 2 models gone. So I would say this guy and that guy. I would leave the leader in the back. Actually, your leader's probably this one, but it doesn't matter.
So
they didn't lose. I lost 2 there, but their bravery is 8, so I can't officially lose anything anymore.
The worst possible roll there.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. I did lose 4 up here, so I can lose 3. So nope, they're fine. These guys just come off the board. All right. So what it comes down to is I still have more models closer, so I get 3 command point or victory points for that because I still have secured that one for myself. So at the end of the first turn, it's 3-1.
Okay.
And now what we can do is we can do a couple of dice rolls. One will be to, number 1, to decide where the our objective moves. If you would like to roll that, I'll let you, and then we'll figure it out.
It was, so I had 1.
And I have 3, because I secured it at the end of the second turn. Or the first turn, so my half of the turn.
Okay.
All right, so if you roll a dice, this will determine where this goes. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, it'll come this way. A 4, 5, or 6, it goes that way.
5.
All right.
That was right.
So basically, it's going to come over 18 inches from here. So it'll be somewhere in that little range, and then 12 inches. So it'll be actually right behind you. It'll be right about there. All right, so that is where the objective is now.
That is securely mine.
So now we will roll. You had initiative. In this game, you roll for turn initiative every turn.
Okay.
If you have the initiative, if you and I rolled the same number of a 4 and a 4, the person who has initiative the previous turn, it retains initiative for this turn.
Okay, so if we tie,
If you tie, you win. So I rolled a 3, you rolled a 4. So you have initiative. You can decide if you would like to go or pass the turn,
so,
knowing that
that is going to come.
that's
in
going to
and
come
smash
this
me.
way.
I might want to go first.
That will get you at least a point. It's still going to come smash you, and then you're going to potentially give, or you could limit how many points I can get by letting me go, knowing that it's going to smash you.
And then
I will only get 1 point, and then you probably won't get anything out of it this turn. But
it won't give you.
it won't give
points.
me one. It won't give me 3. That's where this scenario, you kind of have to think it through.
Right.
Do you want the 1 point knowing that you're going to give me potentially 3? Because we saw what these guys did when they roll. But
yeah, I overloaded my other flank over here.
well, you were setting up to whichever way you were going, you're going to be good. I just happened to get rid of your big hitter over here.
Right.
So it's.
Sadly, I think you're right. I need to go second.
And then
to deny you the 3 points and hope I can get in here and take it.
Okay. That's the decision?
That is the decision.
All right. You have spoken?
I have spoken.
All right. I will start with the 1 command point for my turn. Let me go ahead and roll and see if he stayed on the board anyways. He would have stayed on the board, so he is still there.
I do need to.
Yep.
Do I do that on my turn?
That is
or
during
it
your
start of
turn.
the
No,
round?
that is
Okay.
that is your turn. So you won't get any benefit out of it as of yet. All right. So casting, he is going to try to cast the Prayer of Ash again.
Now I kind of wish that guy could bring people from other parts of the board to him, not from him to other parts of the board. Now he's out of place.
Well, no, I mean you could transport. Well, he's going to be close enough anyways to charge
right,
himself.
he's going to be able to get in and charge.
So you're fine there. Yeah, I mean you'll be able to smite and stuff like that to try and cause, if you can whittle 1 or 2 wounds off of these guys.
Right.
Then that's better than you could hope for. So we're going to try to prayer. 3+ it does so. I rolled a 2, but I get a +1 here. He's going to go ahead and put Prayer of Ash back on these guys.
Even though you forgot to use it.
Yeah, even though I forgot to use it, it's just me jumping through that hoop because that's the way I play. All righty.
All right. I got to get a drink real
Okay,
quick.
no problem. We'll take a quick second.
I'm dying here.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
Those 2 guys were just in the wrong spot now. All righty. So actually, for my other prayer, I'm going to go ahead and cast. Well, he can actually cast it because he won't need to cast the Infernoth this turn. And we'll move that here in just a moment. That's the beautiful part. Normally, endless spells can be controlled by other players. However, these are unique to fire slayers, so they don't officially fall into that realm.
So like the purple sun or whatever, I could
You
move
could like
around
because
if I could
because
see.
you gave me first turn, you would actually have been able to move an endless spell like the purple sun. However, because those are only unique to my faction, you
Squigs
guys
don't know how to use lava
you
monsters.
apparently do not. Actually, and then the next turn, what we can do is we can remember to cast that. That was something we forgot to try to cast with the wizard way over here.
I thought we said he was like out of.
Well, he could have tried to cast that because that's a spell that you can. It comes up wholly within D6 or 6d6 range of you.
Oh, okay.
So that might be something during your turn we'll let him cast. That's that one, which it can be pretty nasty against something like this because you're going to roll a dice, and for every 4+, I think, it does a mortal wound. It does a mortal wound to everybody. It doesn't care if you're a squig or not, but...
Each unit within 8 inches of the model enveloped by mutating spores for each unit. Enveloped by mutating spores, roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in that unit that are within 8 inches of this model. For each 5 up, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound.
So on Searing Heat, so this guy up here, my Rune Smiter, now that he's out of the tunnels, he is going to try to do Searing Heat.
And that's the flaming ball.
That's like, no, this is actually it's a prayer that he has. It's so on a dice roll, I will not get a bonus because I think I'm outside of 6 inches.
Okay.
I'm just outside of 6. So on a 1 or a 2, it doesn't do anything. On a 3+, it does go off. It goes off on a 6.
Didn't even need the pizza oven.
On a 3+, the prayer is answered. Pick an enemy unit within 18 inches. Him.
Okay.
Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that unit until my next hero phase.
Nonsense.
And for that one, yeah, that sounds like that's garbage, man. It's garbage. We're gonna.
Oh, that was one thing. You said these guys had fly, so is it like 40k? Can I fall back and charge if I have fly?
Not so much in this one. They
Okay.
do have fly. That would be like shooting.
Okay.
You know, 40k. I don't think you can charge, can you?
No, some can. But,
Okay, yeah. In this case,
it would say.
you would be advantageous to just stay in that combat. Even
Well,
though
I was
I've-
just thinking,
yeah.
like, if my runt herds could come over here and then he could, like, go play with the objective or something. I was just...
I mean, that would be one of those you could let him try to cast. If next turn, you could
Right.
try to have him cast and move him over here.
Right.
And then they could still charge that way.
All right, toying with ideas.
Yep. And then I also have another prayer. It's at the start of the hero phase. So this one's called Runic Empowerment. On a 3+, the prayer is answered. I rolled a 3. Pick a friendly Fire Slayer unit wholly within 12 inches, or because he has a forge key, wholly within 18 inches, which that does mean that unit. And that unit will be able to re-roll wound rolls for attacks made with that. So that is Runic Empowerment.
I am the keymaster.
Are you the gatekeeper? All right. So
And then these squigs could pass as Zool, so you never know.
all right, and he is actually going to go ahead and try to cast the Zargron's Flame Spitter. So he is going to. He doesn't get a plus on this, but it is a 3+ and it goes off on a 5.
Okay.
Sets up wholly within 6 inches of the model. So it's just we're gonna plop it right here just because.
Very thematic.
Yeah. And then it is going to be able to shoot 12. At the start of the shooting phase, so at the shooting phase, I'll be able to actually shoot this turn. I'll roll 12 dice for any target within 24 inches, a specified target within 24 inches of him. If there's 10 or more models, which, unless I was to shoot that before they'd lost 1 or 2, but outside of that, nothing else. I would get bonuses, but basically it's for every 6+ is a mortal wound. If it's a unit of 10, it's a 5+. If it's a unit of 20, it's a 4+.
Oh, okay.
Is all. So I won't get any bonuses, but it will. But we are going to go ahead and let him do his 12 attacks here, because he managed to stay on the field himself.
Silly lava monsters.
So this is the Molten Infernoth. For each 6, I did 1 whole mortal wound against you. So that's going to drop him down to 6 wounds remaining.
Oh no.
He's done his job over here. He's kept these 10 tied up from doing anything else. All right, so that is my hero phase because that's all I have prayers for. Now we go to movement. Everything's moving that way. And so from now on, now what this can do is it will either move out here or it'll move back to the center.
Okay.
Next turn. Just so you can plan where you're going. It's either 50-50 chance going that way, 50-50 chance coming back.
Okay. So either way, it'll probably be in my moon zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of my stuff.
Yep. It will certainly be in your moon zone for that side. So yeah, let's say at the start of this turn, let's go with, so that goes away. And we're going to do the Rune of Fury for this turn. So I'm going to roll a dice to see if I get the enhanced effect. I do.
Yeah.
So the Rune of Fury is I can re-roll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Fire Slayer units.
Okay.
The enhanced effect is I can re-roll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Fire Slayer units. In addition, add 1 to the attack characteristics of melee weapons used for friendly Fire Slayer units. That's going to be painful.
So not only do you get to re-roll, but you add 1 to...
So there'll be 3 attacks instead of 2 attacks and stuff. So, and that's same with them and so forth. So, yeah, that was a chance I took, and I managed to. It actually paid off this turn. So, all right, movement phase. They're stuck in combat. Stuck in combat. They're fine. I'm not going to worry about moving them. So basically, it is just this big unit here. No longer can I do all the. I mean, I could move and then charge, but there's no reason. So we're going to move him right to the doorway. If I can get a good enough charge, I'll go ahead and try to go in and kill those 5 or 6 squigs there. Hey guys, wait up, wait up. Now, the beautiful part about this game that I like is you have to keep the 1-inch cohesion.
Right, so it makes you keep all your stuff.
So there's none of the long daisy chaining that, was in the past. All right, and so the Magma Droth himself, since the Battlesmith's there, even if he's there, they're all going to be within 12 inches, depending on where I pile into. Yeah, should be okay there.
It's like a Tydo Dwarf.
So Magma Droth here can actually go off and do his own thing. So he's unhurt. He is going to be able to move 12 inches.
I've been reading a lot of books on astronomy here lately. I've never heard of a red dwarf before.
All right. So they're going to be within range to be shot. Everything else is either moved or dead. So, okay. So I will go to the shooting phase. And we're going to go ahead and shoot. We're going to use his attack again.
Okay.
This time I'm within range to shoot something that it can actually go against. And that was called the Roaring Fire Stream. Instead, roll the number of dice. Table above.
I think I've heard of that one. I think it's when you stick things where they don't belong. When you get the Roaring Fire Stream.
So I will roll a d6. So 1d6. So 2. That's going to be really good. So basically, instead make the dice roll shown 1d6 on the damage table. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of models in the target unit, which I was targeting him, That unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of models in the target unit, and the target unit is within 6 inches, which
I think you are.
I think I'm. Yep, I am.
So what, you get D6?
It's going to be D6 instead. Yep, D6. So we'll try this. This is where I roll. It's where I roll the 1. So
okay. So
you take 1 wound.
1 wound, and they are 2 wounds.
They're 2 wounds apiece. Yep. So that's a little anticlimactic. So all right. So we're going to come over here and do this thing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
So we'll say, I think we said he was probably my boss. So
yeah, he can die. Yep. So those 12 are going to go ahead and shoot into the Mangler Squig.
Because I want to keep my little wall up so you can pile them in.
Only that
less.
far. Yep. Yep. It makes sense. So that the flame spitter is going to shoot the Mangler. These are only going to go off on 6s though. That is 2. That's 2 mortal wounds is all. So you're going to do it down to 8. So that's getting you closer to that less than desirable tier for a Mangler Squig.
Okay, he had a searing heat token on him.
Searing heat is you're going to be -1 on all of your to hit rolls.
That's the -1 to hit.
That's the -1 to hit rolls that you do against me. So, all right. So that is the shooting phase.
Didn't the Volkites have a shooting thingy?
Actually they do. All of my stuff does. You're right. They all have fire steel axes on their back.
Throw things.
So yeah. So you are correct. Thank you for reminding me. This is my army, and that I have yet to see on the battlefield. Okay, so we're going to go. Each one gets. I'll get 4 attacks. These are less than desirable hits. So hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s. So I do get 1. It does not hit, or it does not wound. So now we go over here. Those 6 are going to also get. They have a fire steel throwing axe. They're going to get 6 attacks. 1 attack apiece, 5s and 5s. 1. None. Okay. Now we're going to go with the 2 that are right next to you.
What's the range on those?
8 inches.
8 inches.
Yep. So 1. None.
So everybody's going to be on range of him, and then they'll be in range of them. So the whole thing's going to get to go.
Could go into that. So
yeah,
20.
unless you want to divide it.
No, I'm going to charge probably into that.
Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 5s and 5s.
You're bound to get a couple in here, so.
I'll be happy if I get 2. 2 out of that, so I've got 6 hits. 1. 1 at no rend, so.
And I've got a 4-up save.
Yep.
No, that's a Mangler.
Oh, nope, you should have a 4-up on them.
4-up on those 2, so. And I
you got it. Good job.
Woohoo.
Good job. All right, so that's all. That is officially all of my shooting. So go to the charge phase, knowing that they're already locked up, they're already locked up, they're locked up. So we'll see where this guy can go. He's going to go 10 inches in total.
So he can
should be able to get him that direction.
Oh yeah, he can do that.
So move that ever so slightly, and that way we keep you kind of trapped that way. All right, and then this big group here, I'm going to go 8, 9 inches. So they will have enough to come in here and say hi to these. That Carl's going to get up into there. There. So I'm going to do my best to keep these kind of. So basically, and the rest of them are just going to daisy chain down and around. Oh, nope, that's my battlesmith.
Oh, this is looking bad.
Battlesmith, stay there. I mean, the good thing is the terrain is actually helping you out by keeping you from being able to make it all the way around. It's still going to hurt because of that empowered attack that I have.
It's going to hurt a little.
So, all right. So now it becomes, what do I want to attack first. And I think it would be silly to not attack here just to try and clear out those.
Okay.
But in this case, I only get 1, 2, 3, 4. I will only get 4 from this group attacking here, and then I will get 3 attacking that group. So it won't be enough to kill.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it that way. So these are going to be 3 attacks apiece because of that. So 12 attacks onto the Boingrot Bounders. 9, 12. And then I also, I get to re-roll hit rolls of 1. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. It's not bad. All right.
Worked.
They did. And then this is wounding on 3s. So that is 7 at -1.
So that should take me to a 5. I
2
took
of them.
2.
That's going to leave 10 wounds coming through because these are 2 wounds apiece.
Okay, so
there's 1.
1. And then that's a separate unit, right?
That is going to be 2 more that are going to attack. And so I don't know if there's anywhere that you can pull from that I wouldn't be able to pile in at least 1 more attack.
So I guess 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then 1 wound left on this poor sap or the leader. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And then I will get 9 attacks over here into that little alcove against the squig herd. 6, 8, 9. Again, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Okay. So 6 at -1, and they have a 5 up. Or no, they have a 6 up, don't they? Squig herd.
They have a 6.
So they won't get a save. That is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 wounds.
Okay,
so that is enough to
2
kill.
wounds each, and
That's going to
2,
be
4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yep. So that's the whole unit
And
there.
the runt herd is part of them,
Yep.
so
Yep.
he
gets included for 2 wounds. So, all right. Yeah, that extra attack is what actually helped that.
Right.
All right. So that is all from there. It's back to you.
Okay, so, man.
You're in a painful spot right now.
You know what? With your big dragon in there, he stands a real chance of dying where he still could live.
He will become less and less useful, but he's locking up that group.
Now it's just a question of, do I want to try to take out your big old dragon and then let him try to shoot and clean up later?
Knowing that they are still going to be able to attack in, too.
Right.
Yep.
I bet your dragon hits harder.
Not as much as you would think.
Well, they're not getting the special reroll. He's not. The
He
other
is not.
guys are.
He is not. Well, no, he is getting the Fire Slayer. He is a Fire
Oh, okay.
Slayer. So he is much like your squig, lead, your loon boss. I mean, his attacks are a little less than stellar, but I mean, he does. The Latchkey Grand Axe is actually an artifact for him. It's called the Vox Axe, which will get a -1 extra to the rend. So, I mean, he's going to have 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, doing -2 rend, which basically takes you to no save, and then 3 wounds apiece. And then the claws and horns and everything will also head in there.
Man, I don't know. Well, that should have been dead.
Because there's also, if every wound that you do against the Magma Droth, I can roll a dice, and on a 4+, it's basically volcanic blood. We'll do a 1 mortal wound back at you.
Let's just go for the guys on foot.
Okay.
I think, and I'll try to shoot the dragon
Okay.
later. Okay, so with my manglers.
So you are wounded down by 4 wounds. You're probably on the 2nd tier.
So yeah, that takes me to the 2nd tier.
Okay.
So I get 4 attacks with the fangs. So
these are hitting on.
These are hitting on 4s
now. Okay. Oh, of course, you still roll 2. That's
2,
good.
and then these are wounding on 3s.
Okay.
2.
-1.
Yep.
So this takes me to my 6 up. I don't make either of them. D6. 7.
7. Pretty average.
They are now back to within range of him, so this will be 4-ups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 of them pass away. 2.5 of them. So 1 goes 1 wound.
And then Ball and Chains gets 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Oh no.
Oh, that might be the saving grace right there. 1, -2, so I don't get a save. So D3.
1. Oh no.
4-up. I do save the 4-up, so no damage.
And then my sticks,
4,
I get 4 attacks, hitting on
5.
4s, wounding on 4s.
Oh, the grots actually hit this time.
Yeah.
Now let's see if they wound. That's the grots.
That's what grots do. Oh no, that was super not good.
I'm actually going to get my Rune Father on Magmadroth card out here so it's easier to see his attacks, as opposed to going to the Battle Scribe here.
No, my poor Mangler Squig. I'm not sure after that you deserve to live.
All right. Nothing there. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and shoot, actually. So that's already attacked. They're almost done.
You're probably better just to hit me there.
We'll take that extra attack.
I'm like, when I saw you pull out that card, I was like, is he going to do it?
Yeah,
is he gonna make a
no.
Because at this point, I'm not going to correct him.
No. I was looking and I'm like, wait a second. No.
I'm going to be a bad friend.
Let me go ahead and take the fire pick. So 2 attacks. They get 3 so I will get 12 attacks because of my rune.
Because of your silliness.
8.
That was a good draw.
That
probably turned the tide on this turn pretty hard.
It also hit because of that dice roll of a 6. So
yeah.
That enhanced effect is stupid. So, all right. So 12 attacks, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s.
I kind of like the swinginess of Age of Sigmar in this effect.
Some people like it, some people don't. But to me, it's all fair. Every army still has shenanigans.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
So all of them unfortunately hit. So that's 12 hits. Wounding on 4s.
To me, all the rerolls and stuff that you can get with, like, say, Space Marines,
that one because it was cocked.
makes the game feel a little too samey, where you're just trying to maximize the rerolls and stuff. And this game seems like it's so much more swingy. I like it. I like the randomness.
Darn, only 3 make it through.
Okay.
So 3 at -1. That'll take you to a 6-up.
Okay, because yeah,
he has a 5-up normally.
5-up. So how many? 3?
3. So
Nothing.
3 more. So he's down to 3 wounds.
Uh-oh.
You got this. You got this. All right. So now it goes back to you. You can either attack here or with the 2 there.
I'm not. It's not really going to make a difference because everybody's already attacked, right? Oh no.
No, I mean I still have these 2 that are here,
So
and I will kill them off with this big group here because they are the battalion. And I can spend a command point to. I will spend their battalion abilities. I can.
So would it be
select them
better
again.
to try to kill the 2-man squad since I've got both of them in contact there, and just kill them, or try to chip away at the big squad?
I mean, the big squad all you're going to do is probably maybe get rid of 1 or 2, and I mean, but that will limit going forward. It would limit the potential. So I mean, either way is not incorrect. It's just
let's try to kill out that 2-man squad. Let's get them gone.
All right.
Okay.
So you're well within range. So you're going to get 4 attacks with the lances.
So I get 4 with lances.
These are hitting on.
Oh,
one of them's a leader, so 1 extra attack. Sorry.
So hitting on 4s.
So only 1.
And wounding on 4s.
All right.
Nothing.
All right. And then you're going to get 4 or 2 bites, right?
I get 2 each.
2 each, so 4. Okay. There you go.
And they're 4s and 3s.
Jeez, yep, this one's turned on.
The dice are betraying me. I used them all up against friggin' Greg earlier.
All right, so this is the two living guys because he's going to pile in there. So this will be 6 attacks because of the rune. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. So 3's wounding. That is at -1.
So it takes me up to 5.
5. So 5-5-ups. You need to make 4 of these, or else they're dead.
I made 1.
Okay, so that's 8 wounds. So those 2 are dead.
So I no longer need to count casualties.
No,
there
they can come off the board.
Because that is.
I'm saving you time. I'm
dead.
just saving you time. That's all.
Who needs to take leadership checks? Just kill them all.
All right. All right. So you will attack now with the Colossal, and then I'll go back and do the Magma Droth.
Sure wish I had some Cardarun Overlords for backup. Okay, so I need a read through
yep.
on
So he is down to 3 wounds. So his Colossal Squig, he started with 16, so he's on a second to last tier. So your 8 enormous jaw attacks are only going to be wounding on 5s.
So
but 6s do special things.
So hitting on 5s?
Hitting on 5s, sorry. 6s do special. Which
so I got 3.
Okay, so 3 5s, and then wounding on 3s. So 2. And that's -2, which I negate 1 of them, so it becomes a 6-up. I don't make either of them. That is D3 wounds on those 2.
For 3
5.
For 5.
And I don't have a leader, nor do they care, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm finally going to kill your instrument.
The horn and the leader are left. So now you're going to get, second to last, you're going to get 4 trampling feet attacks.
And
these are going to be 5s. These don't get any worse, but they're 5s to start. Oh, look at that. Somebody's cheating. 3s now.
Okay, so 3.
3 at -1, so I will get a 5-up save. I do make 1 of them, so 2 of the wounds, these are all just 1 wound apiece, so that is 1. So my instrument guy dies, and then the leader's down to 1.
Okay.
Oh, so close.
Man, if that first attack had gone just a smidge better, then I only have a lava monster to deal with.
All right, so the Vox Axe that I've given the priest, or my Auric Rune priest is, so that's to replace his latch key, improve the Ren characteristic by 1. In addition, if the unmodified hit roll, the attack is a 6, add 1 to the damage characteristic of that weapon. So that's what will change here. I do get the +1 to attack characteristics because of that. So I will get, so I'm going to get 6 claw and horn attacks. Again, I don't know if this officially affects, if that affects the claw and horn attacks. I'm not going to play it that way, but it could, but I'm not going to. So these are going to hit on 4s, wound on 3s. So 2, and then 3s. So 2, and these are -1 apiece. So that's going to take you to a 4-up to a 5-up.
So 2 5-ups. No.
All right, so these are 2 wounds apiece. So that's going to knock him down to 4. Blazing Maw is just 1 attack. Hitting on 4s, it does hit. Wounding on 2s, it does wound, -2. So 6-up. Nope, D3 for 2. Takes him down to 2. And I will get 4 attacks instead of 3 attacks with the latch key because of my rune. These are hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. All 4 hit. Wounding on 3s. Oh, only 1, but it does go up to -2, so that takes you to a 6-up.
Nope.
Almost, and that's going to be 3 damage. So that'll kill him.
That kills him. No.
Yeah, we'll move him this way temporarily. And then the searing heat will come back because it's no longer there. All right. Well, we're having fun. Well, at least I am. I don't know.
I'm having fun taking your models off the table.
Nope. So
either way, your models are dying.
That's right. That's right. I'm losing and I'm winning at the same time. All right. So they officially, I could lose. Nope. They're fine. I rolled a 2. Didn't lose anything out of that group. Lost 2 out of that one. So nope. They're fine. All right. So at the end of this turn, at the end of my turn, I will be up to 4.
Oh, that was a weak.
That was, yeah, for you. So I will go up to 4 victory points at the end of my turn. Now it goes to your turn. The question is, I don't think you're going to get 20 models in or kill off enough that you could do anything there.
No.
But what we can do is at the end of this turn, this is turned lopsided enough that...
Okay, so the best thing I can do is,
So let's start by rolling for that one, see where it moves.
6.
Okay, so that's going to come straight to the middle.
So it goes to the middle.
So it's right there. So what that does is it illuminates the whole board. So all of your squigs have the ability to charge or advance and then charge.
Okay.
It also, you can select a unit like this. Normally it would be a good unit. The downside is I have an mortal wound carry, but then you will roll a dice, and we would actually get the, look in the book here real quick, because this actually has a characteristic. And I think you roll 1 dice. All right, so basically, Fangs of the Moon. In your armies, if your army is Gloomspite, you can pick 1 enemy unit and roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of models, which you would roll 1 dice, so you would guarantee that you would do D3 mortal wounds to that unit.
Okay.
Or you could select this unit and roll a dice, and if you roll a 4 or less, you would do it. It goes by. You wouldn't want to select like the magma drop unless you absolutely had to.
Right. Well, but I'm wondering, like, if I hit them, do D3 mortal wounds, and then I'm probably going to pop the mushroom up over here and do another set of mortal wounds.
Try to, yep.
And then that might give me enough oomph to kind of weaken that side.
Nope, that makes sense.
So let's do D3 to the big unit.
Okay, so that's
3.
6. So we'll take 3. These are 4-ups because they're within 12, all within. I only take 1.
Oh.
So one of these guys goes down by 1. All right,
Okay.
so that was the moon. Now you would go to your so you'll get a command point.
Okay.
And you'll roll a dice to see if you get a second command point.
So I got 3 command points again.
And see if you
If
roll
I do
that. Nope.
I don't.
Okay.
So I just got 3 command points.
And it doesn't have to be one or the other. So what the moon also does is it adds 1 to your casting.
Okay.
So either one can cast the mushroom. It's actually more advantageous to let him try to cast the mushroom because he's a
Right.
lot closer.
Right. It'll be easier to get it to where I want it.
Correct.
All right.
So and on that one you would have to. I think it's a 7.
Casting value of 6.
Oh, so you need at least a 5 then. Well, for the sake of this one, we'll say it went off because I want to see it go off.
Okay, and so 2, 4, 6. So it would go with anywhere within 66.
So you can move
10, 15, 23.
So what you could do is you could plop it down, just as long as it's not within 8 inches of you. So you could plop it down.
So if it went
right here,
there,
it would hit that, and then it would hit all 20 of these plus the 2, because it would catch those 8. Yeah, so it would catch the whole unit of 20, and it would catch the 2 plus the magma drop.
Okay, so you got a group of 20 there.
So, are you going to start with the 20? Okay. You want to dice? Let you have the dice tray for this roll.
Okay, and on 5s,
I think okay. I was gonna say, I thought it was 5s or 4s, so this could be bad.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Go ahead and roll that 3. That's cocked there.
6.
So 6. So I still will get a chance for a deny. So 4-ups. So I do take 4 mortal wounds. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4.
For the 2-man unit.
Yep. Takes 1. So 4 up. Nope. So 1 is 1.
And then your dragon.
Does not. Okay. It was a valiant effort, and it was fun to see.
Yeah, even though I rolled a 3 to cast.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
And then that means he can still cast something, right?
Yep. So he could try to do. I mean, you could do smite for that matter, and so smite itself will go off on a 5, I believe. Let me pull your.
Like arcane bolt.
It is. Yep. It's arcane bolt by the name.
What's the range on arcane bolt?
It's 18 inches in this game. So let's Fungoid Cave Shaman, and you are going to get a +1 to roll because of your moon. So Arcane Bolt goes off on a 5, so all you would need is a 4.
So I could hit him or them.
And if you roll, this is one of those, much like Smite and 40k, is if you roll 10 or more, it would do D3 mortal wounds. Otherwise, it's just 1. So I mean, you could kill this guy guaranteed, or potentially 2 of these models.
Right. So I'm going to try to do that to them.
So there's D3, so that's a 13. There's 3, so I need 3 4-ups. So I do. So it does only.
Just killed 1.
It just kills the one that's wounded. So I'm gonna lay him down.
Drop magic is weak.
That was actually a good roll by yourself to go off.
Um.
And I'm gonna go ahead and roll. I should have done this for last turn. That stays on the board. That comes off the board.
A squig is not free. There's still a leader there. All right. So. So move.
Yep. So in this case, there's not a lot to move, but
well,
you could go down in a big, you could run him into the magma drop and just let him do it. Leroy Jenkins or.
Well, I'm thinking about charging them in.
Okay. Okay. There you go. So they'll move. They would move 5 inches or whatever.
Right.
Which would get you half the way there.
Well, and they can advance and charge.
Yeah. Yep. Right? They can advance and charge because they're under the light. So yep.
So.
They're going to go 11 inches, so they're moving all the way. You do have to stop outside of 3 inches in this game.
So.
Because you can't officially fail a charge.
Okay. So.
And then he goes with them. Yep, there you go.
And then they might as well.
Well, they could charge this direction and try and take out.
Try to take him. So they move
2d6 plus they can run. So roll the 2d6 first.
So they roll 2d6.
Because this is the one you can re-roll this because they are part of your battalion.
Okay, the whole thing.
Yep. So you do get 7. Now you go ahead and roll a dice for charge. 8. So they would only move 8. So they're going to get the 5 inches. So they'll be right here, and we might take them out of the tray. You should be able to get the tray up there without hitting the torch. Good enough for me. There we go. And they'll still be able to make an attempt at a charge.
He's going to keep fighting them. It doesn't really.
There's only one down there.
It doesn't really do anything for me to move them.
I mean, everybody's on the field and they're just sitting there. I mean, you could at least get them going this way. But we're probably not going to play much longer.
So forced.
Because it all depends on where that thing goes. So yep. Okay.
Okay. So, you know what?
Leroy Jenkins? Are you Leroy Jenkins in it? Yep. So
might as well.
Outside of 3 inches, but we know.
No, then that's just suicide for him to do anything. He's my caster. Maintain the mushroom, man. Okay. So shoot.
Yep.
So I'm going to shoot the dragon.
Okay.
I think that is a good. Keep
So every wound that you can do back to me, I have a chance to do a mortal wound back to you. But so this is this is a Forge world. Yeah, even with shooting, it doesn't say. So let me pull up your Colossal or Squig Gaba. Oh yeah, I mean the games were. So this is gonna be 6 shots. Hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. 2. Okay, so and then 3s.
2.
Yeah, 2. All right, no rend. So I'm going to have a 4-up save. Both go through, so that is 2 wounds, and then 4 ups for volcanic blood. 1 goes back to you, and you start with 8 wounds, so you'll be down to 7. And then 2 wounds come through on me, so that drops me to 12.
And didn't he has a shooting thing? I forgot to do that.
Nope, you're good. You're good.
This is only my second turn.
Yeah, this is only so one shot, 5s and 5s.
Nope.
Okay, so that's the spore.
Okay, and then.
And actually, we've been forgetting the spores for him. Put out a little cloud, so anything in melee, I should have been taking off 1 to my hits. That's my apologies.
All right, so now we're charging basically.
Yep.
So
you can charge there.
So they'll go ahead and charge.
They make it.
They do.
All 6 of them. We don't even have to take them out of the tray. We'll just call it all 6 will be able to attack.
They're going to do the same to him.
That one you probably need.
I probably need like
a better 8. Part of an. Probably, yep. It looks like an 8 will get you to within half an inch. They make it.
10. So that should be enough to get pretty much all of them.
What's going to run? Well, you're going to get the lances because they got the 2-inch range. You're only going to get 3 of the squigs to bite because of where I'm positioned. But now what you do is go ahead and roll 5 dice because you made the successful charge. Roll 5 dice, and on 4-ups, you do mortal wounds.
So 2.
So 2 mortal wounds, and that is my rune smiter. He doesn't have anything cool, but so he's down to 3.
And then let's go ahead and charge, what's his face here?
Yep, the loon boss on giant cave squig. He makes it. And I don't know if he has a charge ability or not. I think I gave him like the artifact. Go ahead and, so I mean, you rolled plenty enough, so he would have moved over and then moved back, so on that one, go ahead and, because I would have given him, I forgot to.
He does not have a charge ability.
Okay, so.
But he does have the red cap mushrooms.
Shaman, I would have given him the relic, which is the hydroxy skin cloak. So, but you had rolled enough. You moved over him and then backed off to still make it. So the hydroxy skin coat is after the bearer has made a normal move. Oh, so you can pick one unit that has any models. Oh, so we didn't move. So in this case, it wouldn't work on it. So. Because that's one of those if you move over a unit during your normal move.
Okay, so that's where we're standing. So I'm thinking the most important charge is probably going to be him against your dragon.
Probably. This one's a moot. You have 1 wound to do.
Well, and he can lash out when he dies. I might actually take you with me.
Well, and you're also going to get 5 more squigs over here.
So honestly, that is sadly my most important.
Let's go ahead and do that one.
So, he gets.
Do like 6 or 7 wounds, and then let me kill you on like the volcanic blood.
So he gets 5 attacks with the moon cutter.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s.
Holy cow, he can actually hit.
And wound on 4s. And
2.
He can wound, so 2.
Any rend?
These are no rend.
So no rend, so 4 ups. I make 1. How many wounds? Just 1?
Oh, and of course we're gonna do red cap mushrooms for the rest of the attacks.
Okay.
Because for this.
Go ahead and reroll.
Well, that's for the Fang-filled God only.
Oh, okay, okay. So how many wounds was that? Just 1?
Those are just 1.
Okay, so volcanic blood does not do anything back to you, so I'm down to 11.
Okay, Moon Clan Stabba, 5 more attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s.
Okay.
On 4s, wounding on 3s for 2. And these are no rend.
No rend, so 4 ups. I make both of them.
And then
6 and a 4.
These are 4s, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, re-rolling both. Hitting on 4s. That was a cock.
There you go.
And re-rolling. No.
Okay, so 3.
And wounding on 3s.
Cocked. There you go.
And I
3.
don't need to re-roll. So
Rend
3, these are rend 1.
So, okay, so 5 ups. I don't make either any of them.
D3.
Okay.
For 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. So 6 4 ups. To
And
see
that
if any of this
is enough to kill him back.
That would be 4 wounds. 4 goes back to volcanic blood.
So he's down to 2.
That would knocks me down to 7. All right. Now the funny part about that is my rune is still inactive or in effect for
Did
this.
I bracket him at all?
Oh yeah, he's down. He started with 14. He's down half life, so he's on this middle bracket.
Yeah,
so.
take that, dragon.
That's right. That's right. Take that. I'm only going to have to do 2 wounds left to go at him here. So
Yeah, because of your stupid blood.
So I'm going to take my 3 attacking there. They're still on the rune here, so they're going to be 9 attacks. So these are going to be 3s and 3s. 6s do mortals. Ooh,
Oh no.
There's 6 mortal wounds right there.
Oh, those are 2 each?
These are 2 each, plus they can go through and be an extra wound. So that's a no-go.
So that's 6 mortals?
Rerolling 1. So that's 6 mortals, and then 3s, and then 3 more hits go through at no rend. So 6 ups.
Nothing.
All right, so that's going to be 1.5 more dead. And then I would leave one of your squigs here.
Oh,
and then take him out, and then one of them has 1 wound left. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so that is that unit. You can attack over here.
All right. and then he's like super degraded.
Yep,
right?
that's the phone here. So yeah, he's at about as worthless. So he's down to 3 wounds. So he's on his second to last bracket still. So he's going to have eight enormous jaw attacks, hitting on 5s. 6s do stupid things. The 6s is all. So you're going to do one more than you'll do D3 wounds with that. So you're going to kill them. So he's dead. So that officially is all dead.
Ow.
So he has lived the entire battle.
That's
Granted, he's fighting Volkite berserkers, but that's still the entire battle that he lived through.
well, he fought a lava monster too.
He did. Yeah, he did. He did.
Now, granted, he didn't kill the lava monster; it just kind of dissipated. But
Yeah, no, that was. Usually he doesn't live for me, so I give him kudos for living. Okay, so then I will come back over here and attack with the Rune Father.
you got to do 2 wounds.
I think I've got this.
This guy's pretty tough.
So he has suffered half his damage there, so he's going to only get 4 claw and horn attacks. These are hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. 1, 2. And then wounding on 3s. 2. 2 at -1.
So 5s? No.
And these are 2 wounds apiece.
Yeah, he's
so,
dead.
all right. Woohoo! Killed him!
Oh.
All right, so
All right, well.
after 2 rounds, it's pretty, unfortunately, pretty obvious. It's taking, the Fire Slayers are one of those armies that there really is no non-competitive build because there's so few models to choose from.
Let me see. If
Oh,
I
yep,
kill
yep.
Your rune guy.
Yeah, let's not quit yet. I apologize.
We got 1 whole combat left.
Yeah.
You probably would have attacked.
No,
back
that's
there,
fine.
actually.
It's all good. It's all good. So the Rune Smiter, he only has a 5-up save, so all you have to do is hit him a couple of times here.
All right, lances for everybody.
Yep, and +1 extra one for the leader.
And +1 for the leader. So hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, hitting on 4s.
There you go. Should be enough to probably kill him.
Wounded on 4s.
That's a good roll.
Oh, that's good. So
7,
2, 4, 6.
6 at -1, so it's going to take me to 6 up. I almost made it though, but he is dead.
Yeah. Okay, I killed another dwarf. That's all I need.
You just wanted to end on a dwarf kill. I gotcha.
Well,
So-
but see, next turn, theoretically, the Squigs could hold out and come down.
Come off
and,
the board.
and I could do a little bit there, but that's insurmountable.
That's the what they did at least about a month ago is they reduced that used to be able to be a 30-man blob.
Whoa.
And now they've reduced it down to 20. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle around a few things in my army, and I'm going to pump up the 10 pole axes to 20, and then that's going to leave me, instead of having another unit of 10 guys here to leave, I'll have to reduce that down to 5. But that's just so I have an answer for something that doesn't care about rend.
Right.
At least the pole axes can get around that a little bit, but
Right.
and I can choose what unit do I want to deep strike with the Rune Smiter. But yeah, the Death Star, it's a tough one to.
Especially when you soup it up with the specialty stuff. Not that you needed it over here, really, but.
No, but yeah, when you enhance it by here's 15 dwarves hitting you an extra time.
And I was probably a little over aggressive with my leader guy.
Well, no,
but-
you did. It's just I was able to that first turn
Right.
going that extra 6 inches it really threw it off kilter. So, but what it would come down to is you walk through. We would roll a dice to see where that thing goes. So I mean, if it goes back to the middle, 1, 2, 3. So now it would go back to the middle.
Yeah, which means
So
you would just move your dragon.
You
up
would have
the
these
area,
5
and
and
then
or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, good.